Freak show is everybody coming together and saying, oh, we're going to watch a freak show. This is what this is. We know what this is. It is absolutely mental. What we're going to watch here.
Size different than because he views Jake Paul as a decent boxer. This is not the first time that someone has come out and said this. We've heard Terrence Bud Crawford come out and say that because of the size difference, Tank won't be able to hurt Jake Paul, and that Jake Paul could probably knock him out with one punch.
Floyd Mayweather reportedly stormed the stage during the Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis press conference and issued a warning to Jake. The event quickly turned tense as both camps exchanged heated words. The moment made it clear how serious the rivalry has become between the two sides ahead of the highly anticipated fight.
Just showing up. Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna knock him out. You know, he has a lot of flaws in his defense, and I'm gonna expose him. You know, look what a 135 Lamont Roach did to him, and it's just gonna be so much fun for me. I'm so glad that God gave me this moment. I'm Gervonta Tank Davis.
Many critics have dismissed the Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis fight as unnecessary, calling it more of a show than a real contest. But Ariel Helwani disagrees. He pointed out that MMA fans often welcome crossover fights and find them entertaining. Yet when boxing does the same, many people call it meaningless. Helwani said this shows a double standard between the two sports. To him, the fight might not represent traditional boxing, but it still offers strong entertainment value.
Generally, I'm sure it'll be a little bit closer, maybe 200 to 150. Like how much bigger can Tank get? Why would that be somewhat celebrated in MMA, but in boxing it isn't? Do you know what I mean, Pizzi? In MMA, like we sort of love the freak shows, but in boxing they don't. Why do you think that is? What does that say about us in MMA?
Well, we're a sick bunch of fucks. There's no doubt about that. But I will say,
you agree, right, or no?
Yeah. Like the idea of the MMA freak show is everybody coming together and saying, oh, we're going to watch a freak show. This is what this is. We know what this is. It is absolutely mental, what we're going to watch here. I think where people get annoyed with Jake is like, you know, he even got me. You know what I mean? This guy is the greatest outrage farmer of all time. I saw his tweet and I was like, reading it, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, this is exactly what he fucking wants me to do. You know, like this is, every time I'm doing this, he's in the game of getting eyeballs and this is ridiculous. As long as, like, you know, why do I like an MMA freak show? Why would I watch Eddie Hall in an MMA fight against Dylan Dennis? I'd be like, this is fucking ridiculous and I have to watch it. That's the way I feel about Jake Paul and Davis. I will watch it. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's all of us getting together to go to the circus for the evening. I think the reason why there's pushback against it when Jake does it is because Jake, and obviously tactfully, is going like, what are you talking about? This guy's a world champion. I took out Mike Tyson. He's a world champion. And then I'm going to take out Canelo and stuff like this. Like he's winding us up. He's not agreeing to the stipulation that we're all agreeing on, which is this is a freak show. This is absolutely mental. As long as we can agree with that, we can all enjoy it collectively.
But do you not think he does agree to that? Do you not think he knows what this is?
No, I do.
Floyd Mayweather spoke about the Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis fight, saying the Paul brothers are doing things most people don't understand and should be allowed to do their own thing. However, he added that Jake's true skill hasn't been tested yet. According to Floyd, Jake has never faced anyone with real boxing experience or the kind of talent that represents what true fighters stand for inside the ring.
But like I said before, they know what they're doing. Both brothers, Logan as well as Jake, they know what they're doing. So they're doing what they.
The upcoming Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis fight has divided both fans and boxing experts. Many believe the matchup doesn't fit the spirit of professional boxing. Longtime Davis supporters think this fight is a step backward for him, given his record of knockouts and dedication to the sport. The criticism isn't only about Jake Paul's YouTube background, but also about the idea that a fighter of Davis' level would even consider such a contest.
I believe people think that Tank ain't gonna knock out Jake Paul. Like, bruh, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it's gonna go. Jake Paul will go in that ring thinking he has the upper hand, he has the reach, he has the weight, and he gonna go in there confident. Yeah, he might stun Tank a little bit, but I'm gonna tell you, he gonna underestimate Tank. That's exactly what's about to happen. He's gonna underestimate him and his size, and he gonna get crushed. I think this right here is what's gonna end Jake Paul's boxing career. I think that Jake Paul, when you sit here and think about it, the people he fought, I'm not saying they wasn't real fighters, but they just not no Tank Davis. Buddy, I'm telling you, I don't think this is scripted. I think, yes, this is for money, but I think it's like, hey, at your own cost, go in that ring. Y'all know the weight difference. What's going to happen is what's going to happen at the end of the day. I think Tank really go, hey, drop him. He ain't going to understand. Jake Paul ain't going to understand how, but he's about to see it. And on some real stuff, I think Tank setting Jake Paul up. Now, remember when Jake Paul went up against Tyson, he said, you need to fight me. Like, I want to get in the ring with Jake Paul. He disrespected the boxing world by getting in the ring with Tyson and embarrassing him. And, you know, Tank really messed with Tyson. I think he setting him up, bro. Mark my words. I think he like, yeah, come in the ring, boy. We gonna do a friendly, you know what I'm saying? You know, a match or whatever. We gonna get this money. He about to embarrass him November 14th. Just because Jake Paul think the boxing world's sweet. He think it's sweet. He think they about to keep taking it easy on him with these fights. All right, I bet you. How much y'all want to bet? Tank is setting him up. He's gonna literally do him so bad just to make an example out of.
This fight has already created several unusual moments, making it hard for fans to take seriously. One example involves Shakur Stevenson, who drew criticism after reports claimed he sparred with Jake Paul. Many fans accused him of supporting a fight they already dislike. Shakur responded calmly, saying the hate doesn't bother him and instead motivates him. His reaction showed professionalism, but the fact that other boxers are being pulled into this debate shows how controversial the matchup has become. Fans seem more focused on online drama than the actual sporting side of the event.
Right? When Turkey was doing all that, like, I don't want no boring Tom and Jerry fights, he came out with a Tom and Jerry hat. And then he fought in a style that is not sustainable for him. And it's not, again, for me, it's not sustainable because fighting like that, if you do that with the wrong one, you'll lose. If you fight how you fight, okay, it's going to be harder to win. But you're putting your own self on the chopping block, trying to appease the crowd or not be Tom and Jerry. It's not sustainable. And even in the Zepeda fight, he got rocked back with a jab and fell into the ropes like that. So you could say I wasn't hurt and all that, but it's still a bad look. It's a bad look. People always talk about Tank, the knee, hair grease thing, but what about Shakur getting rocked into the ropes from a Zepeda jab? Even if you were off balance, you're supposed to be light years ahead of Zepeda skillfully. So to me, that still looks really bad. Like, I've watched 50 fights from Floyd Mayweather, and he's fighting way better than Zepeda level. And Canelo and these guys, they're not punching him into the ropes and he's staggering back. The optics of it look bad. So back to it, Shakur, I feel like he's trying so hard to look unbothered, but he always replies to it so you could tell he's bothered. He's like, man, I got him so mad at me. And I personally, I don't prefer that when people do that. Like, for example, Shakur's like, man, I got him tuned in and thanks for the support. Bro, they're not really supporting you. They're all the comments underneath you saying whatever you said about I get to pick Jake Paul's brain and work with him and all that. Most of them were negative. So you're trying to like it's so weird because it reminds me of when I've seen people like celebrities or whatever who they have a
boxers like Devin Haney and Terence Crawford have also shared their views. They believe that no matter how skilled Gervonta Davis is, fighting someone like Jake Paul comes with unnecessary risk because of Jake's size and reach advantage. Jake is taller and heavier, which could make the fight physically challenging even if Davis has better skills. Both Haney and Crawford said fights like this blur the line between real competition and entertainment. They argued boxing should remain focused on meaningful, competitive fights, not business-driven events.
Because he views Jake Paul as a decent boxer. This is not the first time that someone has come out and said this. We've heard Terrence Bud Crawford come out and say that because of the size difference, Tank won't be able to hurt Jake Paul, and that Jake Paul could probably knock him out with one punch. We've seen Shakur Stevenson's words say that this is a clown show, that this is a disgrace to boxing, that it's something that he doesn't want to be a part of, but then do everything he can to be a part of it by turning from 2-division, 3-division world champion, former unified champion, and turning himself from that into a damn sparring partner for Jake Paul. So people's words, people's actions are showing that they really, really deep down like this fight. And now you can add Devin the Dream Haney to the list of fighters. And I just find it funny because here's the thing, I disagree with him. I am only interested in this fight because number one, I'm a diehard Gervonta Tank Davis fan, and number two, I don't really like Jake Paul at all. So I would like to see Tank Davis knock his block off. But as far as a competitive standpoint, as far as thinking it's a good fight, as far as loving the fight, nah, bro, I think it's a trash-ass fight. I think Tank Davis is way too good, way too skilled, way too talented to even allow Jake Paul to share the ring with him. That is my opinion. And so as a result, my pick of the fight or my overview and analysis of the fight is the same. If it's a real fight, if this is something that Tank Davis is taking serious, Jake Paul is going to get in that bitch and be...
Former world champion Keith Thurman shared a more balanced view. He said the same people criticizing Gervonta Davis are usually the ones who still watch his fights. According to Thurman, fans love to complain but can't look away because Davis always brings excitement. He added that this type of controversy only increases Davis's visibility and shows how powerful his name is in boxing. Thurman believes that even with criticism, the fight will draw huge attention, proving Davis's ability to stay relevant no matter what.
With Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. What is it? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. You know, fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only, you know. So, you know, it's money-making purposes only, you know.
Throughout his career, Gervonta Davis has spoken about his respect for real boxing and his goal of building a meaningful legacy. He's earned his reputation by beating tough opponents and proving his skill in the lightweight division. That's why many fans are confused about his decision to fight Jake Paul, who is known more for fame than technique. To them, this fight doesn't match Davis's usual standards. Still, Davis seems unfazed by the criticism and focused on his own plan, suggesting this fight might be more about business or personal reasons than legacy.
Is not the problem with boxing. Tank Davis is. Jake Paul's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's a Disney Channel kid, YouTube star turned boxer. Of course, he's gonna make these stupid spectacle matchups. He doesn't care about his career, his legacy, or the sport. Meanwhile, we have Tank Davis, the heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather and Adrian Broner, who has real talent. And if he was actually consistent in the ring and was willing to get in with some of the best fighters in the world, he could be top 3 pound for pound best fighters in the sport. But instead, Tank just wants to hold up his division for 5 years and make a mockery of the sport, especially with this fight. I know Tank Davis multiple times has said he only cares about the money and just wants to make $100 million and go retire off an island somewhere, but that's bad for the sport, especially coming from one of our sport's biggest superstars. Look at guys like Naoya Inoue, Alexander Usyk, Terrence Crawford. Those guys are real fighters, okay? They challenge themselves against the best fighters in the world. And money comes their way too from it. Don't get it twisted. What's crazy is Tank would make just as much money if he fought Shakur, Devin Haney, even Teofimo Lopez. The biggest tragedy of all is the fact that Lamont Roach isn't getting his rematch. He got robbed in that fight with a knockdown. He definitely would have won the split decision, and he would have got his Buster Douglas moment, but he didn't. And now he can't even get a rematch because Tank is going to do this. And now Lamont Roach has to fight Pitbull Cruz instead. I used to be such a big Tank Davis fan, but over the last year and a half that I've had this channel, the amount of BS that I've had to report on Tank Davis just like this completely turned me off as a fan of Tank Davis. Jake Paul can do his thing with the influencers, with the MMA fighters, but with boxers,
Many boxing experts describe the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight as something outside traditional boxing. It seems to fall between a sporting contest and an entertainment event. Fights like this are becoming common, mixing showmanship with real competition. While some fans enjoy the attention these fights bring, others worry it harms the sport's credibility. What makes this matchup stand out is that both fighters are active professionals, unlike most exhibition fights that involve retired stars or entertainers.
With fighters pretty much in their prime. But other than the size mismatch, most people are wondering why has Tank taken this fight, and those were the first questions targeted to Tank in this presser. Because usually these sorts of bouts are relegated to the latter part of your career. And for most Gervonta Davis supporters, they thought they would get the big fights next, the Shakurs. They didn't think he would be fighting Jake Paul. Although Tank tried to push it off as fans should just be happy watching the sport and hey, haters will be haters, I think that's quite unfair to the people who have been loyal supporters of him and honestly have paid his bills. He tried to compare the level of criticism he gets to the likes of Mayweather, but the difference is with his mentor Floyd, he really did fight a lot of champs in their prime. Has Tank? Well, not really. The most notable fight he's recently had that the people actually wanted was the Ryan Garcia fight, and the only reason he took that fight was because everything was on his terms. And other than the Ryan fight over the last couple years, it's either been people who aren't in his weight division, which he's pulling up, or fighters ranked in the lower half of the top 10 lightweight list. The fights people have truly wanted to see just have never materialized, and simply that's why people criticize him. If the likes of Crawford never fought Spence or Usyk never fought Fury or Joshua, they would have caught the same level of flack. The reason why fighters like them are applauded is because generally they take on whatever challenge is in front of them. Tank instead, his whole career has bobbed and weaved around the most significant challenges that the people actually want to see unless he has everything.
Gervonta Davis' longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, said the fight can happen despite the size difference. Having trained Davis since his teens, Ford knows how to prepare him for bigger opponents. He said Davis' speed, timing, and ring IQ often allow him to overcome physical disadvantages. Many experts agreed, saying Davis' experience could help him adapt quickly against Jake Paul. Ford believes this fight will test Davis' ability to handle new challenges. Watching him face someone much larger may look strange, but Ford insists that size alone doesn't decide a fight. Davis' speed, defense, and precision could still make him dominant.